Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm
It's
just
so nice to
fine.
see you. Please, have a seat.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
I'm so glad you asked me to come in. I've been wanting to find out about all this. My friends have been saying that there is a fee involved. I've never been charged for anything at this bank or at any other bank where I have accounts, so I'm just really curious about what this is all about.
Well, Chris, I think we should start from the beginning. Actually, there is a charge, but it's more for benefits that you'll be able to use. So I think that when you hear about the whole package, you're going to see that the cost is very relative because you'll be receiving so many more benefits in return. Do you mind if I start? If you like, we can go through the details. The information I have seems really formal, so what I'd like to do is kind of sketch it out. I'm not the best sketcher in the world, so I'll hope that it'll make sense to you. Let's start with private banking. This is a concept we offer our valued customers based on 3 fundamental principles or pillars. The first pillar is the day-to-day things that you use. Checking accounts and alike. We'll talk about that later on. The second part is investments. Investments are really important so you can grow your wealth. And the last part is what we call asset management. So Chris, how about we start from the bottom up? Asset management is a service we offer using an expert office we have in New York. The people there specialize in managing financial instruments such as foundations, trusts, wills, private companies, etc. They take care of all your assets, no matter where they may be concentrated. They don't just have to be here at the bank or even in the country. They can be in several locations. What this does is turns your assets into a single vehicle, so it can be protected and so you can reach any goals you may have. For example, this idea works for people who want to be sure that if something happens to them, their assets will be distributed in the way they want them to be. It works for people who have a business, for example. Their assets are very important, but their children don't want to take over the business, so they want to make sure it's protected somehow. Or, for example, when you dabble in some market and it turns out to be sort of shaky because of politics or the economy, you want to be ready for that. These are all vehicles that we can help set up. You don't have to worry. The expert is going to visit us and we'll talk about the things that you need to work for you. Another example is investments. When you use private banking, you have a choice of using a diversified portfolio. Portfolios can be diversified in 2 ways. One way is to use products that are not as traditional, such as the certificates of deposits that you're used to. Instead, they can be any sort of financial instrument that you may be interested in. For example, stocks, bonds, or commodities, etc. The other way to diversify is geographically, not just by getting involved in local investments, but also outside of Costa Rica. We have a lot of customers, for example, who are interested in Panamanian or Brazilian bonds, or bonds from other places you're interested in. The way we do this is by using 2 modes or options. One is an onshore service that we offer through our sister company, Scotia Valores. This works for people who want to build up a diversified portfolio, but don't care whether it's registered locally or in their own name. Many people, however, don't want their name to appear anywhere for a number of reasons. For these customers, we can do the same thing, diversify their portfolio, or use an offshore system through another sister company, Scotia Capital, our stock brokerage which is located in Canada. We can use these 2 approaches to build the portfolio. We also have the 5 contents option, another Scotiabank company, but located in the Cayman Islands. What it does is offer you a chance to use discretional portfolios. This means for people who don't have the time to be making investment decisions, or who don't like to make those decisions, they set up some guidelines with 5 continents, and 5 contents totally takes care of managing your assets. They just send you account statements whenever you want. This is something that is totally new for private banking. And lastly, Chris, we have two options that involve banking services. Local services are what you use locally, and then there's international services. This is for customers who want to open accounts, use checks, take out credit cards, apply for loans, etc. abroad. Right now, we have 15 private banking centers in different parts of the world. Most are located in the Caribbean and in North and South America, where you can access these services when we provide a reference. And lastly, we have the package of local services. As you will see, this is a very attractive package with lots of benefits, such as the universal account. This type of account is unique in the country because you can have accounts in colones and dollars at the same time, and can open up to 99 sub-accounts under the same account name. One of the services we have is credit cards. We use Visa and Visa Infinite, which is the top-level Visa card. The Infinite card is exclusively for private banking services and has the highest annual membership fee on the market. However, it's free for private banking customers because we take care of the membership fee. The card has other benefits, such as various types of insurance, with very high coverage limits, up to $1.5 million, and other benefits that we will go over with the credit card. We have special checks using the Scotia Private Client Group trademark. You will receive a really nice checkbook with an exclusive leather cover for you to use. One of the Private Client Group's checking account's major benefits is instant check credit, which means all the checks that you have deposited into your account, whether they are local or international, will be credited immediately, so you can use your funds right away.
So I don't have to wait 20 days for the funds to be available?
Not at all. The funds are credited right away, not like now when you have to wait up to 20 days. Not anymore. You deposit the check, and we release the funds immediately so you can use them. This is an exclusive benefit for private banking customers. For example, we give you preferential treatment for exchange rates and interest rates for your investments.
Right, Karen, but I already get a special exchange rate.
That's right, Chris. That's what the bank does because you're part of the bank's top value customers. That will continue. What I want to tell you, though, is that the benefits for our private banking customers will be even better than what you're receiving now as a preferential bank customer.
And interest rates too, because right now they are really low for my investments. If I'm part of the private banking clientele, does that mean that you are going to raise the interest rate?
That's absolutely right, Chris. But when you talk about interest rates, it gets sort of touchy because the world markets for interest rates are really low right now. So the interest rate that we can pay you will always be in line with the market rates. We can't define the rates, but our private banking customers are always going to receive a higher rate than the rest of the customers at any of the bank's points of sale. You can be assured of that. Another benefit is expense payments. Our customers love this service because it really saves them time. What we're talking about is payments for your water, electricity, telephone, bills, etc. But we go one step further. We take care of all your personal expenses every month. When we set up this service, we'll sit down and go over everything that you pay. You'll be surprised because you'll really come up with payments that take up a lot of your time. We'll take care of that for you. We'll start with the basic bills for water, electricity, telephone and cable TV. And then we'll start on the house. For example, we can pay your property tax, your garbage collection, etc. We can pay your maid, along with the employee benefits involved. This service includes drivers, gardeners, and any staff that you have working at home. We can also pay for your children's school tuition and private classes that you have at home, or when your children are involved in sports, music, or dance classes, etc. We'll take care of all these monthly payments for you. We can even pay for dues at social clubs, etc. Actually, anything you can think of, we can pay for.
So, could you make the payment for my place at the beach?
Maintenance fees, of course. All the expenses you have at other residences, not just your main residence. We can make your homeowner payments for you if you live in a condo. We can make the mortgage payments for you or for any loans you have at other banks if you have a loan that you haven't moved to Scotiabank. This includes credit cards someplace else. We'll take care of all of it for you. At the end of the month, we'll give you a labelled folder that says March Payments, Chris Poindexter. It will have all the receipts for debts to your account, plus the payments that we made for you. Everything will be current and you can give this folder to your personal accountant for bookkeeping. Customers really love this service. The package also includes a safe deposit box. We take care of making the payment for that as well. Lastly, there are private banking loans, lines of credit that are very different from traditional personal loans that you know about, such as buying a house or buying a car. These are loans that are more focused on growing your wealth and assets. Anyhow, Chris, I think that those are the most major benefits in the private banking package. So what do you do to become part of private banking? First, I have to say this is like a club, a private banking club at Scotiabank that is invitation only. That's why we invited you to have this conversation. We would be very happy if you would decide to become part of our group. This service is a personal service, where you have to take out a membership in your name or in the name of the company that holds your assets. This is not for commercial services. So we have to do it through equity companies. The requirements to be in private banking are that you need to have assets of at least $500,000 that can be distributed based on your needs and profile in any of the ways we've talked about. We will go over all that with you. There's a monthly fee of $75. This fee, first of all, gives you access to local services totally free, as we discussed. It also gives you access to our whole team of experts who will be working on your behalf.
So, can I add my husband, children, brothers, and sisters? Or it's just for me?
No, actually, the package is personal, but you can add up to 4 accounts. You have the right to decide which ones suit you best. The 4 accounts can be for your spouse, your children, your parents, etc. Our recommendation is to consider the closest members of your nuclear family. In the end, though, you decide what you want to do. So yes, this is a benefit where you can have up to 4 family accounts. If you need more than 4, we would have to consider opening another new package. We haven't told you about the best benefit of all yet, Chris. This is an added value for you as a customer. In private banking, we are absolutely sure that this package will bring you lots of benefits as a customer and will be very useful. However, we need to be sure that we can add even more value. This means that you can take advantage of all the benefits that we are convinced that we can provide you. Plus, we're convinced that we can become your private banker and help manage your assets. We would like to ask you to let us help you. So that about wraps it up, Chris. What do you think?
Actually, Karen, this is the only private bank that is charging a fee. But you're right. Actually, no other bank has such complete package as this one. I don't think there is anything like this at other private banks. It looks really interesting, and I think I'd like to be part of this club. So what papers would I have to fill out?
Well, Chris, thank you so much and welcome. I've got this folder here about private banking and with a series of documents that basically summarizes it and explains what I've been talking about.
But you have to give me the sheet with the scribbles so I can remember everything the way you explain it.
Sure, it's kind of a mess, but I'll put it here in your package. This has some information about all the services and the welcome letter that you have to sign to authorize me to deduct the $75. If you want, you can sign here to show that you've received it. Well, now that you're formally part of our select private banking group, welcome And thank you so much.
Thank you.